Welcome to TV Africa News. Thank you so much for joining us and always being part of us. This is Africa Today. My name is Nahabe Kajura, but first, other headlines. Court adjourns Segirinya Sewanyana pre-trial over health issues. Fresh clash between rebels and troops in eastern DRC. African Union reaffirms suspension of Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea, and Sudan. In a sports news today, Uganda Hippos see off Central African Republic in first group game. Again, thank you so much for joining us. We start with one of our top stories. Now, yesterday morning, members of Parliament Mohamed Segirinya and Alan Sewanyana did not appear before the International Crimes Division of the High Court as expected yesterday morning. We have more on this report.
The two MPs who were granted bail last week after 17 months in prison were expected to appear to answer to charges of terrorism, but they were a no-show. The legislators have not been seen in public since their release in what is said to be a negotiated deal between the government and opposition leaders. They had been in detention on charges of murder, attempted murder, aiding and abetting terrorism, which all stem from a spate of machete attacks that claimed up to 26 lives in the Greater Massacre region between March and June 2021. Their release was based on arguments that the two legislators were ailing and needed specialized medical care which prison facilities were not able to provide. Their lawyer, Samuel Mulindwa, told the court that they are still admitted to hospitals where they went for medical attention and asked for a 2 weeks adjournment to allow the MP's health to improve before they can be subjected to a trial. Mulindwa presented the duo's medical forms as evidence of their ill health, which was also confirmed by their sureties Ibrahim Semjunganda and Robert Walgembe. Mulindwa also alerted the court that the defense lawyers were proceeding with a petition to the Constitutional Court challenging the manner in which this matter is being handled. The petition, which is challenging the trial of the same matter in two courts from the same jurisdiction, had been halted because the lawyers had limited access to their clients. Presiding Judge Alice Komhanji said that while the defense lawyers are at liberty to petition the Constitutional Court, the International Crimes Division of the High Court will also go ahead with the proceedings of this matter unless something else comes up. She adjourned the hearing until March 6, 2023.
Away from that, the National Resistance Movement Party Electoral Commission Chairperson Dr. Tanga Odoi has asked the party's Central Executive Committee to discipline members who defied the official party position with regard to the Serere by-elections. We have more on this report. Odoi's call comes after a section of the party's senior members opted to support an independent candidate, Emmanuel Omoding, who is a son to the late Patrick Okabe, rather than Philip, the elected party flag bearer. Longo District Chairperson Ibrahim Chitata agrees with Odoi, describing as errant the party members that refused to abide by the results of the internal elections. However, some legislators hold that the party can leverage the support of NRM-leaning independents to consolidate its hold on the constituency. Bubulo East MP John Mutsila, himself an NRM-leaning independent, say that the situation can be played to NRM's advantage. Moreover, Odoi said the internal opposition to the NRM flag bearer is due to personal intrigue and not based on the candidate's shortcomings. The Serere County by-election is slated for the February 23rd this year. The seat fell vacant following the death of former MP Patrick Okabe in a road accident. The race has also attracted Alice Alesso of the Alliance for National Transformation, Martin, an independent candidate, and FDC's Emmanuel Eratu. Thank you so much, your reporter. We take a quick break. We shall come back with the international news. Welcome back from the break. You're watching TV Africa, the Brightener. In international news today, fighting reportedly flared on Monday between the DRC's army and M23 rebels. Now speaking on condition of anonymity, a security source said clashes began at 5 a.m. in the Kinshanga area, northwest of the main eastern city of Goma. We have more on this report.
The fighting came as regional leaders called once again on Friday for for a ceasefire and for all armed groups to withdraw from occupied territory by March 30th. It is believed that over 120 armed groups and self-defense militias fight in eastern DRC. The M23 group, whose name stands for the March 23rd movement, re-emerged from dormancy in November 2021, accusing the DRC of ignoring a promise to integrate its fighters into the army. Winning a string of victories over state forces, the rebels now near the provincial capital Goma. The Democratic Republic of Congo accuses its neighbor Rwanda of backing the rebels, a charge supported by a group of UN experts, which Kigali denies.
Moving on, the African Union announced on Sunday that Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea and Sudan will remain suspended from the Pan-African Organization following the summit in Ethiopia. Speaking after the summit, the head of the AU's Peace and Security Council, Bankole, reaffirmed zero tolerance against unconstitutional changes of the government, adding that it is ready to help the four countries return to constitutional order. Mali, Guinea and Sudan were suspended in 2021. Burkina Faso followed a year later after the military took power. On Saturday, member countries of ECOWAS also decided to maintain the suspension of Mali, Burkina Faso and Guinea and impose travel bans on government officials and representatives. The three countries had asked on 10 February for the lifting of their suspension from ECOWAS, but also from the AU deploring the sanctions imposed. Thank you so much, reporter. Moving on, one day after the government of Burkina Faso announced the official withdrawal of the French task force's operations in the country, citizens react to the departure of the former colonial power.
The departure marks another significant step in the scaling down of France's military presence in the region, frequently affected by jihadist violence. Amado Ouedraogo, craftsman and president of the Association of Bronze Showcase Craftsmen, say that it was good because France had respected the rules of the game. According to Patrice Sawadogo, a student, when you are in a country and the population itself demands your departure, it is well and truly to respect the instructions given by the population. Oussouf Zungrana, a trader, concluded that Burkina needed a president like Ibrahim Traoré and they got him. Burkina Faso has been rocked by a jihadist insurgency that spilled over from neighboring Mali in 2015. Last year, Burkina Faso suffered 2 military coups.
Moving on, Mauritius was battered by the heavy rain on Monday as intense tropical storm Freddy neared the country. Now many businesses were forced to close and the Indian Ocean International Airport was shut. As of 10 p.m. local time, the Mauritius Meteorological Services said the cyclone had passed at its closest distance from the island at about 120 kilometers to the north of Grand Bay. The body had issued a Class 3 cyclone warning for Mauritius Island. Cyclone Freddy was projected to reach Madagascar on Tuesday evening and hurtle toward Mozambique by the end of the week. The tropical cyclone is equivalent to a Category 4 hurricane and is expected to dump heavy rain and bring turbulent winds. The weather agency said the cyclone is passing around 100 kilometers away from the islands of Mauritius and later Reunion on Monday. Mauritius has already encountered flooding and gale force. The Regional Weather Observation Center on the island of Reunion said that Freddy is currently rushing across the ocean with average wind speeds of 205 kilometers per hour. Now, Africa Today takes a quick break. We shall come back with business, health, and sports. Welcome back to the break. You're still watching TV Africa, the right to know. In a business news today, the United States and the Nigerian government on Thursday linked a deal for the return stolen money of about $1 million by a former governor in Nigeria.
Mr. Alamiye Seiga, who was governor of Bayelsa in South Nigeria in 1999, was removed from office by Bayelsa State House of Assembly in December 2005 to face trial. Mr. Alamiye Seiga was arrested in London in September 2005 over corruption allegations but managed to jump bail and return to Nigeria. He later died in October 2015. Funds linked to him in the UK and the US were also seized thanks to joint cooperation. At the signing of the agreement for the repatriation of funds seized from him by the US government in Abuja on Thursday, the US ambassador to Nigeria, Mary Leonard, said the funds would be deployed to funding healthcare services in Bayelsa State.
Talking matters health, on average, about 4 members die monthly during childbirth at health facilities in the region due to, among other factors, a lack of skills and other competencies by the health workers. In order to re-equip the medical personnel, the Rotary Club of Chambogo, in partnership with the Rotary Club of Eindhoven in the Netherlands, donated simulation equipment for women and another one for babies to officials of Mbale Regional Referral Hospital at the weekend. The equipment will be used to train health workers on how to manage bleeding after birth, high blood pressure, obstructed labor, resuscitate babies, and other medical conditions that cause the death of women and girls while in labor. Dr. Asen Kamwesije, an obstetrician and gynecologist at Mbale Referral Hospital, say that simulation training model will empower health workers with life-saving skills. Dr. Kamwesije said Mbale Hospital performs 12,000 deliveries per year and 40 deliveries per day. In a sports news today, Uganda under-20 men's national team made a good start to their journey at Africa Cup of Nations with victory over Central African Republic. Now, in the game played on Monday at Suez Canal Authority Stadium, the Hippos secured a 2-1 win to hit the ground running.
Captain Isma Mugulusi and John Paul Dembe scored a goal each for Uganda, while Boris got the consolation for Central African Republic deep in stoppage time. Right from onset, Uganda was dominant and dominated almost in every aspect. Despite the numerous chances created, the breakthrough did not come until the second stanza. Titus Sematimba, Ivan Irene Mababazi and Travis Mutiaba all came close but did not put the chances to good use. The deadlock was broken a minute upon resumption with Mugulusi scoring from close range. Dembe doubled the lead in the 74th minute with a sole effort. With a minute to play in added 6 minutes, Beno pulled one back for Central African Republic, but it was too late to stage a comeback. Uganda will return to action on Thursday against Congo-Brazzaville.
It is at this particular time that I thank you for being with us and always joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We should keep updating you. It is TV Africa, the right to know.